Well, hello there, cohort. It's good to see you again. This is the end of it this term. We got one more day. Tomorrow you'll take the final exam at 8:30. You'll have about an hour to do that. Then you'll take the post test at 10 o'clock. Finish that, about 20 minutes for that. Make sure you've done your end of course survey, and you'll be good to go. I'll get your projects. Your projects are due today. I'll get those graded tomorrow, and your final as well tomorrow. So everything should look good. Hopefully we'll get back on campus someday and get a little lab work done. I just wanted to go over a couple things with you here on OBGYN. One thing we haven't had a chance to do, which requires a little talking about, is draping for LAVH or TAH, laparoscopic vaginal assisted hysterectomy, and total abdominal hysterectomy. The drape is a little strange, so I'll draw off a little bit for you here. Here's a patient on a table, obviously. You can tell that, right? The table footboard has been dropped down because the surgeon's got to get in here close to the patient's bottom. So what we do here in draping is the drape is going to have a fenestration up here in the abdomen, and it's also going to have an opening down here. So this drape will go on anytime. Kind of a rule of thumb is when you put a drape on, even if you never used one before, go for the incision site first. Find the opening in the drape that goes to the main incision, and peel the adhesive backing off, and then put that on first. You'll position that on the abdomen. The sticky part will stick to the skin. You'll always take the head part and you'll fold that up as we do to the CRNA with your hands and gloves covered. They'll put it on their poles. They'll attach it to their poles up here. And then you'll be going down towards the legs. Of course, the legs are up in the lithotomy position, which, there will be some type of contraption here. There's all kinds of contraptions to hold the legs up. It'll be, look at something like this maybe. So the surgeon will be coming in here after, of course, they've done the part up top. So draw that off a little bit better. So whether it is a fan and steel incision here for an open procedure or just portholes for laparoscopic, either way there's going to be an opening up here in the drape. You'll have your Mayo stands up here on either side, whichever side is opposite the surgeon, to stay out of the way so they can still use the camera and so forth. They will dissect the uterus, they'll cut the ligaments, they'll free up the uterus, and then once they do that, they will come down here. They will be sitting on a stool, and I've seen surgeons go crazy when we forgot to get the stool in the room. So that's kind of between us and the circulator. We'll make sure there's a stool in the room. That stool will be used by the surgeon to sit down here and remove the uterus, the freed up uterus, through the vagina opening. And then they will, of course, have, are you familiar with the procedure? They'll have the cuff to sew back together and maintain hemostasis and all that stuff. But as you're putting the drape on initially, let me get back to the drape part. The drape will start here. You'll attach it here. You'll spread this out to the CRNA, the top part, so that you can put it on the poles. And then you'll come out with the leggings. These leggings are huge because they cover not only the leg that's up in the air, but they go all the way down almost to the floor. They provide a good barrier all the way around. There'll also be a leaf here that will drop down to cover this area here, because remember, the surgeon is coming in here to work. So that the table part, the buttocks part, all needs to be covered, and then there's a little peel away for an opening there, and then there's also peel off here for the opening there. So it's kind of a excuse me, the lithotomy, the LAVH drape is kind of a two-person job once you get to the legs especially. Sometimes a surgeon may help you, sometimes it's just you and another tech doing it. So, but You want to make sure, like I said, if you put this part right here on first and let the adhesive stick to the abdomen, then it's pretty easy to see what folds up here. There might possibly be arm areas on here for arms if they have the arms on arm boards. But it will go up to the CRNA so he can put it on his poles, and then you've got 2 wings coming out here for each leg that you have to be careful and unfold and don't touch anything as you're getting it, pulling it all the way out, and then to cover the foot, you pull it all the way out to cover the foot, and then it unfolds down to the floor. You don't ever drag it across the leg, because remember, the leg's not sterile. The skin is not sterile. The drape is sterile as long as you don't touch it to anything. Once you touch it to something, it's no longer sterile. So you're going to want to pull it all the way out, make sure it covers the foot, and then drop it down. And of course, you're staying on top of the drape, not getting underneath the drape, because you've got to keep your glove sterile. So it's kind of a 2-person job, and then you can easily pull that little leaf down there for that area. So your back table generally is going to be back here, because you're going to be up here on your Mayo stand assisting the surgeon. And then when he gets that part finished, you're going to come back here and most likely stand back behind the back table so you can pass stuff to the surgeon, kind of to their side. You have to find out whether they're right-handed or left-handed, so you'll know whether it needs to come, this instruments need to come this way or this way. There won't be that much passing from behind there, but you just gotta, once you see it in reality, it'll be a little easier for you. But people who do this all the time, they're working in OBGYN, becomes second nature to them. It's just a little intimidating at first. Okay, so anyway, a little bit of lesson on that for you. It's been a pleasure being with you these first few months. And the good thing for you guys is this COVID-19 happened right sort of in the middle of your program. It's not like you're right about to go out to clinical, so you got plenty of time to get some lab work in and recover what you have gotten a little rusty on maybe. Some people are trying to do things at home, but there's no substitute for being in the OR. I'd rather you do it in the real live place where somebody can see you, rather than get into bad habits that you may think you're doing it right when you're not, and then you get into a bad habit, and then we have to unteach that to teach the new thing. So anyway, it's been a pleasure. You guys have been really responsible about getting your stuff in and doing your work, your assignments. So that's made my job a lot easier, which is always good. That's always a good thing, and I will remember that. We've had some good stuff happening, and we'll hopefully be back. We've got a spring break coming up here, thank goodness, for a week. The beaches will be back open, and I'm doing a little traveling, so everybody stay safe and have fun. Remember to study your workbook for the exams. Your workbook is an extremely valuable study guide for your CST exam as well as the exams that we have. So go over that workbook. That's why it's important for the workbook to be accurate and complete. So anyway, 8:30 tomorrow, your final will start. 10 o'clock, the post-test will start. Make sure you do the end of course survey, and have a good week off, and maybe in 3 or 4 weeks we will be back on campus, and I will certainly see you there. Okay? All right. Y'all take care. Bye. Call me. Don't call me. Text me. Text me if you need anything. Okay? See you.